Good morning and welcome to the Better Thyself segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. We often remember as a child that whenever anybody would come, the first question after being introduced would be, what do you want to be when you grow up? How ridiculous. As a matter of fact, this is a question that we continue keeping asking, and why is one of the default questions that we ask kids. It's a reflex left over from our childhood. We used to be asked ad nauseam, at least I used to be outraged whenever this question was asked for me. What do you want to be when you grow up? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a teacher? Do you want to be a lawyer? Do you want to be an astronaut? And once I remember, I asked very clearly one of the visitors, well, I want to be everything. And he laughed. And when he laughed, I felt like punching him. You are asking a question. Sometimes even I am guilty of this, but then I'm one of those people who has posed this question and then regretted it. Regretted it because I don't want to categorize a person. And the reason for asking this question is nothing more than ordinarily just doing a civic duty. We want to show how concerned we are about the kids, while it's just a passing fancy. It is not that we are trying to lock them into a particular profession when the parents ask it. There are two categories. Others ask for this as a matter of politeness. And sometimes parents ask so they can start building up their dreams. We are fully aware that many children might say that they want to be a neurosurgeon, that they want to be top-notch lawyer, that they want to be a great engineer or a great architect. But how many of them become so? I viewed it as a point of curiosity, a cute visual way to track the interest over time. And as a matter of fact, I was reading Adam Grant, the psychologist book, about a few years back. I think it was way in 1970s that I read this book. And he says that when we ask this question from the children, we are doing a disservice to them. We are telling them to lock themselves up. They still have to experience the world. And we want to ask them what you want to be. The whole thing is in fact encapsulating them into a certain rigid code, and this idea makes such a fixed idea that it becomes an almost obsession for some of them. My beef with this question is, first, that this forces the kids to define themselves in terms of work. And whenever you want to define yourself, you circumscribe yourself. You are imposing limits. And childhood and adolescence is a time which should have no limits. This should be a time when the imagination soars, crosses all borders of thought. And then, after having taken a broad view, you decide what to do. And if you are asked what you want to be when you grow up, it's not socially acceptable. Again, when I grow up, I want to be a father. When I grow up, I want to be a mother. I want to. And how many people say I want to be a person of integrity? Evidently, parents don't like this sort of an answer. That, look here, I want to be an honest man. Or we're going to be a father or a mother, which everybody is going to be. And then I remember once somebody asked me this question, what do you want to be grown up? And I said, I want to be left alone. Of course, my mom was quite annoyed with this sort of a thing. And she said, look here, what impression would they carry? But who cares? This might be one of the reasons that the most parents say that the important thing for them to value for the children is to care about others. And yet kids, because of this question, because of the social parameters, believe that the top value is success. Well, success is not something to be aimed at. Success comes to you automatically. When the day dawns and the morning comes, the sparrows start chirping. It's automatic. It's not that the sparrows thought that they will chirp and the morning will become more beautiful. When we define our jobs, or rather when we define ourselves by the profession, by the jobs, our worth then is circumscribed, is limited by what we achieve. And what's a human being if he circumscribes or limits his value, his worth, his achievement? We are applying then another thing. When we ask this question, what's the implication? That one true calling there is for everyone. That you decide, okay, I want to be there, and it's there for you. It's not. I might have changed my career, thoughts, many times from being A to B to C to D. Even in the service, the things change. Then from the service, I came to the corporate life, then to consultancy, then now to be a writer and a professional speaker. So the whole life shifts, and my own interests and the priorities shift over time, as do everybody else's. Every day, every moment sharpens you, rounds off your edges, and you become a better peg in a better hole. You are morphed over time. And we see all professional work are there which are in a continuous process of change and alteration. My grandson was a golf teacher, a golf teacher, worked in LCBO, worked in real estate. And in the course of a year, he changed 8 times. And I was very happy. Because he was like a butterfly, flitting one flower to the other flower, sucking the nectar out of all flowers, then enriching himself. And in the process, by transplanting the pollen from one flower to the other, like butterfly does, enriching the whole universe. If you have a straight path, then you are a lunatic. Have you seen any sensible person, any normal person wearing a straight jacket? The straight jacket is worn by lunatics. So why do you want your child to wear a straight jacket? And even if you are lucky enough, from the worldly point of view, to stumble into one calling, it might not be a viable career. A calling is not a career. We have failed to observe that there is a difference between vocation and a profession. They are two different things. And I'm so happy when I see a cop who is a PhD in biochemistry or MSc in applied physics and working as a cop. Because he's having the best of both the worlds. His interest is somewhere else. He is doing something else to earn his livelihood. Most career professions, the passion doesn't pay the bills. But then you have to pay the bills. So what you want to be when you grow up is not relevant. As a matter of fact, the question should be what problems you want to solve. If I ask a child a question, look here, what is the problem that you want to solve when you grow up? Is it going to be your personal problem? Is it going to be your family problem? It is going to be the world problem? Then that gives a child a vision. The shift is there from a specific job towards what kind of person the child wants to be. Does he want to be compassionate? Does he want to be organized? Does he want to be energetic? And there can be any number of things as an adult. So I, as I said, was guilty of asking this question at one time. I got over it. And then I noticed a shift in how the children with whom I interact take to me. They feel a connect which they did not feel. So when you don't ask this question, rather you want them to be a more human being, more of a human being, then you notice a shift in how the children think. I mean, just suppose you ask a child a question, what do you want to be? And he says, I want to be a video game maker. Well, you pay 90% of the parents want their children to be only doctors or engineers or the lawyers or the teachers or the cops. So the vocations are limited as far as the parents are concerned. How about a child saying that I want to have a restaurant which specializes in hot dogs? Or a professional soccer player? Yes, a video maker. So can, when you ask this question, list all the professions, all the options, so that in case he asks you in return, what do you think I should be? Do you have a sensible reply to that? You don't have it. So the best thing is we let the child what they want to be. Anything, everything, whatever they want. The great thing about a kid is that you have time to figure out what you want to be. And great thing about growing up is that you can always change your mind and try something new. So don't circumscribe your children. Don't limit your children. Don't put brakes on the imagination of your children. Let them grow up. And in the process of their growing up, you would find that you become a better human being, that you become a better parent, a better friend, and the process of battering has no limits. So get over this habit. The nasty habits that we have learned from our forefathers, some of them are nasty. I can't deny it and you can't deny it. So get over them. Let the children be the children. Let them be imaginative and take initiative. Let them not be limited by such stupid, useless, limiting questions. Stop asking what you want to be when you grow up. Let them be human beings. Thank you.